Hi, my name is Rohit, and welcome to my channel where we talk about self-love, soul love, and divine love. Now, today's topic is about mistakes. We all make them. I don't know a single person that doesn't make mistakes. But then what happens? Are we hard on ourselves? I bet you most people are. Most people become very judgmental and critical of themselves or others when they make mistakes. So today we're going to talk about how to overcome this trap, which really messes up relationships, the relationship with yourself and the relationship with others. Let's get into it. Hi, welcome back. So mistakes is a huge part of our lives. There is no way to escape it. We are going to make mistakes. In my own life, I screwed up more than most people I know. I kept trying different things and they didn't work. And then I realized this is not for me. Then I realized that is not for me. Let me give you a little example. As I was growing up, I was being brought up to think that because I was creative, they said, well, you should be an engineer. And I was trying to go in that direction, do all the studying, the courses, and then I realized this is not for me. I began to see these incredible movies being made by directors from the 50s, from France and from Germany and other places. I was so fascinated by all this. And I said, my God, I can take my creativity and bring it into this. And so I decided to be a filmmaker when I was in college. And with that, I came to America to study filmmaking here because I wanted to do something that was completely free. I could do anything I wanted, not have to be bound by any rules and conventions, or not be part of the commercial scene. Well, a year later, I realized, this is not it. And I became a monk. And then a few years after that, 7, 8 years after that, I realized this is not it either. Then I became an entrepreneur. For many years I did that. And then one day a friend pointed out to me, you spend most of your time talking to people about their problems. Maybe you should focus on that. And I realized, oh, really? There's such a thing? I could actually do that? So, there's been a series of errors and mistakes and complete mess-ups that I've gone through. And in the eyes of some people, I'm a total screw-up. And in the eyes of others who see what I've taken with my mistakes and how I've transformed them, they say, oh wow, you did great. So which one do I choose? Am I a screw-up or did I do something good? Let's get into it. Mistakes are inevitable. I've made them, you'll make them, we all have. Then why do we get so hard on ourselves? What is it that we do when we make a mistake? We tend to judge ourselves, or if somebody else does, we'll judge them. We tend to criticize ourselves. We tend to say, you're such an idiot, you're such a fool, how could you do that? You're so stupid, what is wrong with you? Have you ever done that to yourself? I used to do it, so I know this is natural. This is what goes on in our heads. And when that happens, we're really hard on ourselves. In fact, most people tell me they're more hard on themselves than they are on others. Do you find that true for yourself too? And if that is the case, then when you're hard on yourself, those who become most intimate with you, your partner, your beloved, unfortunately, you're going to be hard on them as much as you are on yourself, or almost. And then if you have kids, you're going to be hard on them. And the legacy of this punitive behavior will carry on again and again and again, generation after generation. It started in my life. My parents were pretty hard on me. My teachers were hard on me. They was, spanking and beatings and yellings and shoutings and judgment, all of it. How did I survive? I realized that is something that was not okay. One day I came across this sentence. It was out of the Bible and it said, "Judge not lest you be judged." And I said, oh my God, I love this. I'm going to make this my theme in life. I am not going to judge myself. I am not going to criticize myself. In fact, you know what? Because this is the thing I hated the most. I was not going to let this be any more part of my inner state or the way I dealt with other people. But furthermore, I realized that my mistakes were actually helping me. My mistakes were actually helping me grow and evolve in a world where I had no clue where to go and what to do. I couldn't make sense out of the world and I had to figure it out for myself. And so I developed a deeper empathy for my own struggle and began to realize that, my mistakes are actually my assets. I love them. And I want to recommend that to you as well. if you can, instead of looking at mistakes as something that are here to hurt you and needing to judge and criticize them, what if you could actually celebrate your mistakes? One of the things that I found myself doing was when I'd make a mistake, I'd go, yes, I screwed up. And then I'd say to myself, what can I learn from this? It's an incredible idea. You change the way you respond to your mistakes. Instead of denigrating yourself, you celebrate your mistake. And you do this every time. So I ask you, please make some more mistakes. Screw up, drop a thing or two here or there. Not some expensive thing, but a plate or something small that you can, if you used to normally get mad about, do something that you wouldn't normally do, something that you would have judged yourself for. And then go, yes, I messed up. Celebrate it for a moment. Now your mind's going to go, what the hell's wrong with you? You mean you're celebrating your mistake? How can you do that? Say, you know why? Because I'm going to learn something out of it. I'm going to do something differently and better. And that's why. So you got to talk back to your mind and put it in its place. And then you'll find if you do this repeatedly, it will actually get trained and it will start to do it naturally. You're going to find that when you do this, your whole approach towards yourself, the inner language of judgment and criticism towards yourself and towards others begins to change. You'll become more accepting of the flaws and mistakes that people have in them. You'll find yourself more compassionate, more kind, more empathetic. It comes naturally once you stop reacting the way we've been brought up to react. The alternative is that every time you judge someone and criticize them, you're going to start shunning them out from your life. You're going to start cutting people off, or things that you do. You're going to say, well, I fell down too many times from a bicycle. I'll never ride a bicycle. It's no use. Or I'm going to cut this friend off and that friend off because they did this, they didn't show up on time, or they didn't do this right. And you're going to keep on and on, cutting yourself off into a place where you're just alone. It's just you and your rotten mind with all its judgment and all its criticism. And hey, how about changing that? Isn't it enough? We need more love in this world. And what if you were able to bring that love first to yourself? And it begins with this. This is the beginning point. People who tell me of self-love, I say, you know what? Back up a little bit. If you want to love yourself, this is the first place. Begin with your mistakes. Begin by loving your mistakes, all the ways in which you've screwed up, and then talk about self-love. We'll come to that later, right? So, because the option is, if you're going to keep on being hard on yourself, then yourself is going to cringe. And when it cringes, it's going to become smaller. You're going to diminish yourself. Or you will end up being angry, and that anger will come out on the world and on others. That's typically what happens. You will either become suppressed or you will become angry. And if you want to walk around the world with anger, that's your choice. I'm not going to stop you. But if you'd like to be free of that, and if you'd like to really come into a loving space in yourself and with the people around you, please try this. It will make all the difference in your life, and you'll find yourself becoming more forgiving, more kind, more compassionate. We could all use a lot more of that. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I'd love to stay in touch with you and keep sharing more of these wonderful tips and ideas with you that have been part of my journey, and love to stay connected with you. Thanks and take care.